Він сильно не виходь, бо рикошетить.
Soldiers of Ukraine's 3rd Separate Special Forces Regiment on February 17 released footage of what they claim was a successful operation to clear an industrial enterprise behind Russian lines. In a post accompanying the video, the unit said a concentration of enemy troops was spotted by reconnaissance drones in an unidentified area of the front line. Ukrainian troops reportedly held their positions for 2 days amid intense fighting, during which 23 Russian soldiers were killed, with Kiev's troops eventually withdrawing without suffering any losses. Ukraine's Special Operations Forces are active on various fronts. Last month, its 8th Regiment published a video of a large assault group of purportedly North Korean soldiers in Russia's Kursk Oblast, crossing an open field and forest, followed by close combat footage with only dozens of meters between the two sides. In the end, graphic footage shows killed soldiers claimed to be North Koreans. At the 9th hour of the battle, the Special Operations Forces had only a third of their ammunition left. They spent the rest on destroying North Korean forces, the Telegram post read. Elsewhere, over 46,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been killed on the battlefield since the start of Russia's full-scale invasion in February 2022, President Volodymyr Zelensky said in an interview with NBC published on February 16th. Zelensky previously revealed the total casualty count on February 4, claiming that Ukraine had lost over 45,000 soldiers. Nearly 380,000 Ukrainian soldiers have been injured since the start of the all-out war, Zelensky told NBC. 10 of thousands of Ukrainian troops are currently missing in action or being held in Russian captivity, according to the president. According to Ukraine's General Staff estimates, Russia has lost a total of 859,920 troops since the start of the war. The figures do not specify killed or wounded, though the overall consensus is that it includes dead, wounded, missing, and captured. The main directorate of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of the Russian Federation, GRU, has formed a new structural unit designed to conduct sabotage operations in Europe. The Wall Street Journal writes about it, citing information from Western intelligence agencies. The Department of Special Tasks is based at the headquarters of the GRU on the outskirts of Moscow, a glass and steel building known as the Aquarium. The unit was formed in 2023 and consists of experienced agents who have previously participated in serious operations, including the poisoning of Sergei Skripal in 2018. It is headed by Colonel General Andrei Averyanov, a veteran of the Chechen Wars who is wanted by Czech police for setting off an ammunition bomb in 2014. His deputy, Lieutenant General Ivan Kasyanenko, coordinated operations not only against Western countries, but also the activities of private military companies, such as the Wagner PMC, after the death of Yevgeny Prigozhin. The Special Tasks Department has 3 main tasks: organizing assassinations and sabotage abroad, infiltrating Western companies and institutions, and recruiting foreign agents. The unit operates in Ukraine and other countries, including Serbia. Many of their operations are aimed at weakening the West in response to its support for Ukraine. One of the most high-profile incidents was the use of incendiary devices on DHL cargo planes, as well as attempted arson attacks in European cities, including Leipzig and Warsaw. The European Union and the United States have already imposed sanctions on some members of the Russian State Security Service, accusing them of organizing coups, murders, and cyber attacks. The Kremlin has denied the accusations, calling them groundless. Meanwhile, Western intelligence agencies are calling for increased counterintelligence activities and covert operations to counter the Russian threat, especially on Russian soil. Russia has responded furiously after Italy's president equated its war in Ukraine to the aggression of Nazi Germany, fueling existing tensions between Rome and Moscow over the conflict. Russia's Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova, late on Sunday, warned that the comments by President Sergio Mattarella cannot and will never be left without consequences. Mattarella, Italy's ceremonial head of state, had given a speech defending multilateral institutions at the University of Aix-Marseille in France earlier this month. Speaking about the conditions that gave rise to World War II, he warned of authoritarian drifts, where the criterion of domination prevailed over cooperation, and wars of conquest followed. That was the Third Reich's, Nazi Germany's project in Europe. Russia's current aggression against Ukraine is of this very nature, he continued. Zakharova initially hit back on Friday, accusing Mattarella of outrageous, blatantly false historical parallels. She accused Italy, which along with other NATO countries has sent weapons and money to help Ukraine defend itself against Moscow, of pumping the terrorist Kiev neo-Nazi regime in Ukraine with modern lethal weaponry. She launched another verbal attack on Sunday, criticizing the president of a country that historically has been among those who attacked our country. Unfortunately, Italy was the country where fascism originated, she added, referring to Benito Mussolini's regime that allied with Nazi Germany during World War II. Russia, then the Soviet Union, was allied with Britain and the United States against Nazi Germany during the war. Politicians in Italy jumped to Mattarella's defense, including Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, who said that Moscow's comments offend the entire Italian nation. Italy once had the largest communist party in the West and has traditionally had warm relations with Russia. Former Premier Silvio Berlusconi was personally close to Russian President Vladimir Putin, with the two men even taking a holiday together. But since Moscow's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, Italy, first under former Premier Mario Draghi and then Meloni, has firmly backed Kiev. However, it has so far refused to allow Kiev to use its weapons outside Ukrainian territory. According to Reuters, Sweden is ready to send peacekeepers to Ukraine after a truce is reached. Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson announced this, adding that negotiations are needed before such a decision can be made. There must be a very clear mandate for these forces, and I don't think we will see this until we move further in these negotiations. But Sweden generally participates in strengthening security in our part of the world, so I assume we will be involved this time as well, said the Prime Minister. American musician Caleb Wayne Byers arrested on February 7th as he flew into Moscow to see his girlfriend. He faces 10 years in prison on fabricated drug charges. Putin is refilling his hostage exchange fund.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.